Hi, I'm Bridget and thank you so much for joining me today for today's full body yoga. And today we're going to heat it up a little bit more, but we're still going to be moving really nice and slow. But we're just going to get started in a nice, comfortable seated position. So I just have my ankles crossed, but you might like to sit up on the knees or onto a block or a cushion. So just however feels most comfortable for you. Sitting up nice and tall when you get there, taking a nice deep breath in through the nose and exhale, letting it out through the nose nice and slowly. Letting the shoulders melt down away from the ears. Nice and tall through the neck. So imagining a nice long line from the top of the head right down to the tailbone. You might like to close down your eyes here. I've already got mine closed. And again, just bringing that attention to the breath. Seeing if you can really slow down the breath, but taking nice deep breaths. So inhale. Exhale, let it go. Letting the shoulders drop a little bit more with each breath. And then keeping the eyes closed on our next inhale, we'll squeeze the shoulders up towards the ears. And exhale, draw them back down. Inhale, we squeeze them up. And exhale, drop them down. One more just like that. Inhale, we squeeze the shoulders up. And exhale, let them sink down. And then just really noticing how you feel here through the shoulders, the neck, checking in with the body. And then nice and gently, we'll blink the eyes open and we're going to make our way onto all fours. So coming into our tabletop, stacking the shoulders above the wrists, spreading the fingers, really nice and wide here, pressing down into all 10 fingerprints, all 10 knuckles. And then nice and strong through the arms, we stack the hips above the knees and then press down into the tops of our feet. Flattening out through the spine here, draw the shoulders away from the ears, and then we find our cat-cow. So curl the tailbone up with an inhale, drop the belly, we squeeze the shoulder blades together, maybe look up, and then exhale, curl the tailbone under, around through the spine, and drop the head down towards our mat. Couple more just like that. Inhale, we curl the tailbone up, drop the belly, squeeze the shoulder blades, and exhale, we round through the spine. Inhale, drop the belly. And last one, rounding through the spine. And then we come back to our tabletop. And before we move from here, we're going to curl the toes under and then walk the palms back. So sinking the hips down onto the heels just for a nice little stretch through the backs of the feet. I think that sometimes it's a little bit easy to forget about the feet, but this is a really nice stretch. So you might need to wiggle the toes around a little bit to find that nice stretch. If it feels like a little bit too much, you can just come up, rest the feet, and then stretch back down. So we find that nice length through the spine again here. A moment of stillness. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. If it feels nice, you might like to rock a little bit from side to side, just moving that stretch. And then we'll make our way back onto the hands and find our first downward facing dog. So curl the toes under. We start to lift the knees away from the mat and we send the hip bones towards the top back corner of the room. Pedal out the feet. Bending one knee and then the other. Nice and strong through the arms. Hugging the lower ribs down. Pressing the chest towards the tops of the thighs. We take one more breath here. And then inhale, we look forward between the hands, bend the knees, and we hop it forward into our forward fold. So give your knees a nice generous bend. We hinge from the hips here, round the upper body forward, over the legs. Maybe sway a little side to side. Might like to clasp opposite elbows. Bend the knees even more here so that you can really release through the lower spine. You should feel a nice stretch through the backs of the legs. And then we're going to walk the feet together here. So bring the big toes together, a little bit of space between the heels. We're going to sink the belly onto the tops of the thighs and sit the hips back, just like we're sitting into a chair, because we're coming into chair pose. So from here, we're going to swim the arms back and start to lift through the chest. You've kind of got to turn on that inner mirror here a little bit too. So we go from this rounded spine, we start to flatten out. So curl the tailbone down, sitting those hips back, pressing into all four corners of the feet here. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. And then reach those fingertips towards the back edge of the mat. See if you can sit a little deeper. Find the breath. Keep the breath moving here. You should start to feel a little bit of heat. And then on our inhale, we're going to reach the hands up. So we've got the nice long line from the fingertips right down to the tailbone here. And step the left foot back. And we find our high lunge. So we've got that nice deep bend still in the right knee, reaching the hands up. And on an exhale, we're going to find our arrowhead. So send the arms back parallel with that back leg, and we send the chest forward. We've got that nice deep bend into that right knee still. And then on our next inhale, we're going to draw a nice big circle with this left hand. So we drop it down, come up and around. We find our warrior two. So you might need to adjust the feet a little bit here. Wiggle them a little bit further apart or a little bit closer together. We've got the outside edge of that left foot parallel with the back edge of our mat. Nice deep bend into that right knee. Flatten out through the spine, so curl the tailbone down. That right leg should be starting to get really formed now. I know mine is. Send the fingertips out nice and wide. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to find our peaceful warrior. Flip the right palm. Send the fingertips forward, up and back. Breathe into the right side body. And then on our exhale, let's find our extended side angle. We'll bring the right elbow to the right knee and then reach those left fingertips forward. One breath here. And then on an exhale, let's drop the left hand down, followed by the right. So we're framing that right foot and then stepping it back into our plank, holding for 2 breaths here. Nice deep breath in, nice and strong through the arms. Nice deep breath out, one more. And then exhale, let's lower halfway. Hug the elbows in towards the body. We flip onto the tops of the feet, nice and strong through the arms. We find our upward facing dog. And then exhale back to our downward facing dog. Pedal it out through the feet again here. Take a moment to find your breath again. So walk the feet out, drop one heel, then the other, bending through the knees. Pressing the chest towards the tops of the thighs. Bend the knees as much as you need to here. Taking a nice deep breath. Exhale, letting it go. And then on our inhale, we look forward between the hands, bend the knees, and we go for the hop to the front of our mat. Find your forward fold. Ground down through the feet. Take another moment here to just let it go. Shake the head, yes. Shake it, no. Go for a little sway from side to side. Give the knees a nice, generous bend. And then when you're ready, again, we're going to walk those feet together. So we've got the big toes come together, a little bit of space between the heels. Let's sink the hips back like we're sitting into a seat. Draw the fingertips towards the back edge of the mat and we lift through the chest. Chair pose. See if you can sink the hips back a little bit more. They should already feel warm here from our last round of chair. On your next inhale, let's reach the arms up towards the sky. Take a break if you need to. And then when you're ready, ground down through the left foot. We're going to step the right foot back into our high lunge, reaching up with the arms, nice generous bend into that left knee. So we're hugging the tailbone down again here to protect the spine. And then when you're ready, on an exhale, we bring the arms parallel with that back leg, send the chest forward. Nice long line from the top of the head now down to that right heel. Keep that nice bend into the left knee. And then we're going to find our warrior two. So let's drop the right hand down this time, draw that nice big circle. And we find our warrior two. So you might need to wiggle the feet a little bit further apart here. Sending the fingertips out, draw the shoulders away from the ears, hug that tailbone down. Maybe bending into the left knee a little bit more. And then let's find our peaceful warrior. Flip the left palm, send the fingertips forward, up and back. Breathing into the left side body. And then we find our extended side angle. Let's bring the left elbow to the left knee and reach the right fingertips forward. Nice and strong through that back leg. One breath in. And then exhale, let's bring the right hand back to the mat. We frame that left foot, step it back to plank two. Nice deep breaths here. Nice and strong through the arms. We're drawing that belly button back towards the spine. And then on an exhale, let's lower all the way down to the belly this time. Press through the palms, draw the shoulders back together, press into the tops of the feet. We find our cobra. And exhale back to the belly, and we find our child's pose. So sinking the hips back down towards the heels. Belly comes to the tops of the thighs. And we walk the arms out the front. Find the breath here. Slowing down. Noticing how you feel. Closing down the eyes. And you might like to bring the arms to either side. Palms facing up. Resting on the forehead. Letting the breath slow down. And then when you're ready, we'll make our way to seated. So coming back up through the tabletop, cross one ankle over the other. We come back. And we're going to find a wide-legged forward fold. So I'm going to come long ways onto my mat. And I'm going to send both legs out to the side. So nice and active through the feet here. So drawing the toes back towards you, almost pressing the knees down. So lifting the kneecaps up and drawing down through the thighs. Sitting up nice and tall here. You might like to come back to a block or a cushion underneath the hips. Inhale, we get nice and tall, and on an exhale, see if you can hinge at the hips and stay nice and flat through the spine for as long as you can. Keep those toes pointing up towards the sky. And then on an exhale, you can round forward. Let the head and the neck get really nice and heavy here. Relax through the shoulders. You should feel a really deep stretch here. Just seeing if you can send the breath to any tight places. You might like to close down the eyes again here and just focus on the breath. We'll take one more nice deep breath. And then slowly start to walk the hands back in, rolling up through the spine. Let the head and the neck come up last. And then we're going to draw the knees back in, so you might like to bring the hands underneath the knees. And then we'll come to lie down. We'll take a twist to close our practice. So let's hug both the knees in towards the chest when you get there. You might like to rock a little bit side to side. And then we'll send the arms out into a nice big T shape. And on an exhale, we'll drop the knees down to the left. See if you can keep both shoulders drawing down towards your mat. Breathing along the length of the spine. Again, closing down the eyes. You might like to turn to look out towards those right fingers. Give them a little wiggle. Then we'll come back to center when you're ready. Bring the knees back up and through center. And on an exhale, we send them over to the right side. Again, try and keep those shoulders drawing down towards the earth. Breathe along the length of the spine, and then maybe turn to look at the left fingertips. Give them a little wiggle. Find the breath again. Exhale. Let the body relax. And then let's come back to center. We'll drop the feet back down to the mat. Keep the knees bent. We'll walk the soles of the feet together here and let the knees fall apart. Supta Baddha Konasana. You can either let the arms come out really nice and wide here, or you might like to rest one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart space. Again, maybe close down the eyes or just soften the gaze. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Noticing how you feel. And maybe just coming into a feeling of gratitude, just having gratitude for yourself for showing up for this practice today, gratitude for your body for moving you through the practice. Wherever you are today, knowing that it's exactly where you need to be. Letting the body get really heavy here. Letting the breath slow down. And you can stay here for as long as you like, or when you're ready, we'll make our way to Shavasana. So send the arms out to either side, and then sending the legs out nice and long. Letting the body get really heavy with every exhale. Seeing if there is anywhere that you can let go a little bit more. And then I'm going to leave you here in Shavasana. But thank you very much for joining me for this practice today, and I hope you have an amazing day or an amazing night to come after this. The light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste.